Eva, it's been a while. Who is this? It's Chloe, your sister. Chloe? Doing something like that and then going off the grid for 6 whole years? And yet you still managed to reach out to me. Impressive, huh? You don't have to say something so cold. After all, I'm your only sister, you know. We have to get along. After what you did 6 years ago, how dare you call me your sister? I don't think of you as my sister. Ah, that thing about stealing your boyfriend and going on that escapade, right? Yeah, it feels like ages ago. I barely even remember it now. Turns out, he was just another guy I didn't really care about. How can you say that after hurting me? Honestly, I don't see you as sister, and I'd rather not pretend to. So don't think you can just hit me up like this. Why not? Anyway, where are you? I'm out for a bit. I see. I heard you're living your best life right now. That's none of your business. Don't you ever try to steal my happiness again. I also heard you got yourself a successful husband and you live in a mansion. What? Tell me all the juicy details, won't you? How on earth did someone ugly like you manage to snag such happiness? Ugly? My husband loves me more than anything else. You've got no right to judge me. Is that why you decided to reach out after 6 years? Just to say that? Nope. Sorry, but your beloved husband happens to be my boyfriend. There's no way that's true. Why would he even say something like that? Come on, no matter how hard you try, there's no way someone like you could beat me. Guess what? I've already moved into that mansion. What are you talking about? Both the doctor husband and the mansion are all mine. Ugly girls like you should just quietly leave. I don't get it. My husband isn't a doctor. Huh? His brother is. What are you talking about? This isn't your house? What mansion are you talking about? The one close to the beach. Oh, that house used to be where my brother-in-law Theo lives. It's definitely a super luxurious house, isn't it? Oh, really? But it's still a doctor's house, right? I gathered that information from my previous sources, so there might have been a bit of a mix-up. I heard you married a doctor and were living in a mansion. What kind of misinformation is that? Well, whatever. Turns out he wasn't your husband, which was a surprise. But hey, I still got into the fancy mansion. I'm all set for a luxurious life from now on. Yeah, everything turned out all right in the end. Hey, Grace, do you have a minute? Hi, Eva, what's up? So, about that lady? The one who's claiming to be Theo's girlfriend or something? What? It was my older sister. I'm deeply sorry about this. Are you serious? I never even thought about it, so I was completely shocked. I can't believe it was my sister all along. I'm really sorry. No, it's not your fault at all. But how did it come to this? It looks like she messaged everyone around me trying to gather information. She ended up mistakenly thinking I was Theo's wife. It's a huge misunderstanding. But my sister has always dreamed of becoming a doctor's wife. Well, I guess I can't blame her for thinking that, given their dad is a doctor, can I? My husband faints at the sight of blood, so he never even considered becoming a doctor. It's totally my sister's misunderstanding. It's really embarrassing. But somehow, my sister got the wrong idea that I married a doctor. I see. So your sister's mistaken assumptions and false information led her to believe you were Theo's wife. Oh, but I made sure to clarify that I wasn't his wife. At least, I think she understood that much. Okay, thank you. By the way, since my sister seems to be in your house, are you okay? You can't go home, right? I'm okay. I'm having fun crashing at my best friend's house. As long as you're not stuck in a tight spot, then it's all good. I don't think this situation will last long anyway. Huh? I've been thinking about things. Having your sister staying at our place is actually pretty convenient. I reckon this whole thing will get sorted out real soon, so don't worry about it. Eva! Living in this fancy neighborhood is just awesome, huh? It's safe and everyone is so classy and nice. I'm really feeling like a doctor's wife now. It would have been even better if Theo were here in this mansion with me. But he's currently overseas for some conference or something, you know? Oh, you didn't know? About what? From now on, Theo is going to work in a hospital overseas. Huh? They're short on doctors over there, so he mentioned he might not be able to come back anytime soon. You're kidding, right? He's really feeling fulfilled with his work there. So my sister-in-law was saying he might just end up staying for good, you know? Wait, sister-in-law? What are you talking about? You know he's married, right? I know, but he's leaving his wife, right? Theo and I are supposed to get married. He told me they're in the middle of processing their divorce. And didn't they just bought this mansion not too long ago? If he's working at a hospital overseas, what's the point of having this house? Well, I'm not Theo's wife, so I wouldn't know. I don't know anything about the house and his job. If you want to know the details, maybe you should talk directly to his wife. Huh? Yeah, but you've never even met her, have you? Well, it's not surprising given we've been out of touch for 6 years. You don't know anything about his wife. Stop talking nonsense. Why should I even know about his wife? I don't want to talk about it. But there might come a day when you have to talk about it, whether you like it or not. What? I told you to stop with this nonsense. Don't come up with weird stuff just because you envy me for marrying a doctor. Is this Chloe? Do you remember me? You won't get away with saying you forgot. Grace? Why are you messaging me? Ah, I'm glad you remember me. After all that happened, there's no way you could forget, right? Oh. You stole my husband 3 years ago. You went after him in our beautiful house. Well... But then, you totally disappeared after that, didn't you? Well, no surprise there. When the truth came out, that guy was only pulling in $1,500 a month. And the house was bought with my money, so it was in my name. When you found out the truth, your eyes nearly popped out, didn't they? But, you know, I was completely clueless about all that. I thought he was a handsome, well-paid, and rich guy. But then, turns out, I was totally fooled by him. And to top it off, I had no clue that house was in your name. Even so, it doesn't change the fact that you got involved with a married man and tried to steal him away from his wife. You're really something, aren't you? And on top of that, just 3 years later, you're trying to pull the same stunt again. With the same woman. Huh? The same woman? Oh, you're so dense, aren't you? Can't you figure it out? What? Didn't your sister give you a heads up earlier? She told you it's better to talk to Theo's wife directly, right? No way. Yes, way. I'm Theo's wife. You know, because of you, I ended up getting divorced. And after that, Theo came along and really took good care of me, pulling me out of the mess. Are you kidding me? Are you involved in this too? That's my line. How far are you going to keep meddling and getting in my way? Just get divorced from Theo already. I've promised to marry him, you know. If you just accept it easily, maybe our wedding could happen sooner. You're really just all about what suits you, huh? How much confidence do you have in yourself? I'm a self-proclaimed hottie, you know? Totally different from my sis, right? Your sister has a heart far more beautiful than yours could ever be. She's incomparable to someone like you, who just goes around stealing other people's boyfriends and husbands. Oh, come on. Stop talking nonsense. Plus, unfortunately for you, Theo hasn't even thought about divorcing me. Not even a tiny bit. What? That's just your assumption, right? What do you mean? You thought you were on a date with Theo just because you followed him home from work. That wasn't a date. It was just plain old stalking. Huh? And besides, you're in that house right now because you stole his keys to get in, right? That's some serious trespassing. It even includes theft. That couldn't be possible. Theo gave me the keys so I could come and go from the house any time. He even left them on top of his bag for me. That's just because Theo forgot to properly close his bag. If he really wanted to give them to you, he'd hand them to you directly, right? He wouldn't just leave them lying around. You just went and took his keys without asking. Looks like your stealing habit hasn't changed. What are you whining about? Anyway, this mansion is practically my home now. Everything that belongs to Theo is mine. I mean, we're getting married soon, so it's all ours. Oh, by the way, I actually bought that mansion too, you know. What? Oh, my dad is the president of a real estate company. He advised me to invest for the future. So with his guidance, I bought that house as an investment too. Really? Just after we bought the house, Theo was offered a position at a hospital overseas because they were short on doctors, you know. He seemed hesitant at first, but I encouraged him, saying if he could help sick people in need, he should go. So we lived in that house for about 3 months. Oh no! Well, then why weren't you there when I visited the house? Oh, I know quite a bit about real estate. So I was actually checking out properties in Theo's new work location. We've picked out a place for the two of us to live together. Are you serious? So we've decided to rent out that house. There are viewings scheduled soon, so I need you to pack up and leave as soon as possible. What? Are you trying to kick me out? Kicking you out? Seriously? You're the one who stole Theo's keys and sneaked in, right? That's a serious crime. Just remember that. Hey, Ava! Grace is your sister-in-law, right? Do something about her. She's trying to ruin my happiness that I finally got. No. What are you talking about? You're the one ruining people's happiness. How many times do you need to repeat the same thing until you're satisfied? Oh, please, don't get cocky. You're just jealous because you're ugly and couldn't marry a doctor like I did, right? I'm not sure what you're getting at. Sure, my father-in-law and Theo are doctors, and my in-laws have a long line of doctors in the family. But I've never once thought about marrying a doctor. I married my husband because I genuinely love him. I'm really happy with him, so there's no reason for me to resent you. But of course, I've forgotten about what happened 6 years ago. Huh? But 3 years later, It's really disappointing to hear that you did the same thing to Grace too. What's that? After stealing someone's loved one, you have the nerve to act so nonchalant. I can't believe your audacity. I won't be associating with you anymore. First of all, it's because the people associated with you spread misinformation that things go wrong. Huh? I have nothing to do with that. I don't even know who said what. Isn't it wrong to go snooping around about me? You're always saying hateful things. As punishment for causing me so much trouble, just hand over your husband. Then I might forgive you. No chance. My husband isn't just something to hand over. I truly despise you, so don't expect to even catch a glimpse of him. He may not be a doctor, but he's a high-achieving executive in a top company, climbing the ranks remarkably fast. Oh, really? Well, if he's such an elite, he might just be my type. All right, then. I'll just use my charm to win over your husband. Then I'll live that glamorous life. Things aren't going to just fall into place like that. I told you, my husband despises you. No matter how good-looking you might be, he's not going to fancy a woman who goes around stealing other people's partners. Get real. Hey, Eva. There are a bunch of cop cars parked outside the house. And there's a crowd gathering too. Looks like this place is totally surrounded or something. Oh, yeah, Grace just messaged me. Seems she called the cops. Huh? Why? Well, you did steal Theo's keys and illegally entered, didn't you? That's a crime. I suggest you turn yourself in. Huh? You're really gonna call your own sister a criminal? What you did is not something that can just be overlooked. You're illegally staying there. There's no way around it. Wait a minute. I had a promise with Theo. It's just that Grace misunderstood everything. So why do I have to turn myself in? So let me ask you, did you hear anything from Theo about the divorce? Did you receive any marriage proposal from him? It's hard to believe he just head abroad without telling the woman he promised to marry, right? Well, looks like I was fooled. Theo probably just played me, thinking he could fool around with a beauty like me. Seriously? How self-centered can you be? If that's really the case, you should honestly explain everything to the police. If they believe your story, it might not be considered a crime, right? Anyway, for now, just shut up and turn yourself into the police. Come on, I can't do that. You're my real sister, right? Instead of taking sides with your sister-in-law, help your real sister out here. Nobody sees you as a sister. I won't hesitate to turn you into the police. Are you kidding? There's no need to exaggerate things like that, is there? I can't believe you. Who are you to say that? Anyway, face the consequences and rebuild your life from here on out. I'm sorry. Please, forgive me. I'll apologize. Can you talk to Grace for me? Tell her my sister is not at fault. That's something you need to bring up with the police. It's completely unrelated to me. Why do I have to deal with all the scrutiny? I was supposed to be happy, you know? And now look at the mess. It's all your fault. You've got to own up to spreading that misinformation. Sorry, but I don't consider you my sister. What the hell? I'm going to block all your contacts from now on. Get the appropriate punishment, whether it's from the police or in court. Wait a minute, Eva. After the police surrounded the house, my sister had nowhere to run. During the police search, she was reportedly crying and shouting my name in tears, but it was all too late. My sister was questioned by the police, but due to lack of evidence, she avoided charges of theft, trespassing, and causing emotional distress to Theo and Grace. However, She was ordered to pay $20,000 in damages. With a suspended sentence, she avoided jail. But I heard she started working nights to pay fines and compensation. It's all her own fault. Things have calmed down now, and we're back to peaceful days. My sister-in-law and I found some unexpected common ground, so we've grown even closer. We're actually planning a trip to the area where they are going to live soon.
Melody, why aren't you answering the phone? You're not busy anyway. Answer the phone.
You called me? Was it urgent? I had an important meeting at work. What's up?
I left my files at home and I need them at work. I left them on my desk last night after working on my computer, so you'll know where they are. You need to bring it to me right now.
What? I just had that important meeting and I couldn't answer the phone. Of course I'm at work, so there's no way I can go.
A meeting? LOL. What kind of meeting is worth your income? I have more important work than you. With your low income position, they won't notice if you left the company for a bit.
Low income? Isn't that too harsh? It's not as low as you think. I don't think we're that different. It depends on how much I work overtime, but our difference is about $200.
Are you stupid? $200 is a big difference. Just admit the fact. Besides, you know what? I put in more money for living expenses than you do. And I'm the breadwinner of the family. So you should know who you are. I'm better than you, right?
Huh? Is there such a thing as higher or lower position in a married couple? We are a family.
Family? That's fine. But there's still a difference. I'm the head of the family. You're in a lower position than me. Anyway, just go and get me my files. Unlike you, I'm using them for an important afternoon meeting. This is not for fun.
No. I'm not working for fun either. I have a business meeting with a client. You're the one who forgot them, so do something about it yourself.
Are you kidding me? Who do you think you are, Melody?
That's my word. I do all the housework. So if you consider what I do, I'm working more than you in terms of labor. Think about it and don't be bossy.
What are you joking? LOL. Which one of us is the bossy one? Women do the housework, that's obvious. I mean, you won't get paid for housework. Don't quibble just because you make less than me.
It's going to be a big problem if you say like that nowadays, you know? Your brain is that level even though you work. If you're acting like that at work, you're gonna get in trouble.
Who are you talking to? I'm your husband. You want to get divorced by being bossy?
You're the one who'll be in trouble if I divorce you. You can't do anything about the house. You don't even know where things are.
You'd be in trouble too. You're able to make a living because of my earnings. What are you going to do when I'm gone? You'll cry.
Hey, aren't married couples supposed to support each other equally?
I'm putting in enough money to live on.
I'm putting in my own money too. I'm not depending on you.
I put in more than you do, so you're able to live.
Do you know how much more you put in?
I don't care how much. It's true that I put in more.
We're going around in circles and it's making me sick.
Oh, that's good. Then you can leave work early and go home. You should just leave early from the beginning and bring me my files.
You're worried about your own stuff instead of your wife who's not feeling well? What the hell? I didn't marry you to be your housekeeper. This kind of conversation makes me wonder why I married you.
Of course, it's because I was old enough to get married and you wanted to get married too.
You got married because I wanted to? And how about you?
Well, I was old enough to get married and I thought maybe marriage would make things easier.
Is that about the housework? Am I a thing? It doesn't sound like I'm a wife. I'm a housekeeper.
I never said that. You're being paranoid. I mean, same to you. You think I'm your convenient wallet, huh?
I never thought of you that way.
Who knows? My colleagues say women are good at acting.
That's so disrespectful to women. You're talking against all the women in the world. There are plenty of women who make more money than men.
But you don't make more money than me.
Your attitude has changed like that lately, huh? Is it because of that coworker? You never said anything about my income before.
No, I was just being too nice to you. My colleague recently got divorced, and his ex-wife, who worked part-time, was spending her entire salary on herself and making ends meet on his salary. And then she gradually stopped doing housework. He advised me not to let that happen to me. I have a full-time job. I work as much as you do, and I do all the housework. For now, right? But you never know what will happen in the future. So we have to clarify who is in the higher position. Are you serious? I like my job. That's why I keep working. What happens when you say you don't know what's going to happen in the future? It's a life where you have no respect for me, where you don't do the housework, where you do whatever you want. Do you think all the wives in the world are like your coworker's ex-wife? I have a full-time job to begin with, and I have no intention of quitting. Why do I have to be compared with her? Don't be rude and assume that all women are like that. That's how women are. If you're going to be so old-fashioned, then show me you make more money than I do so that you can make a difference in position. You're an idiot. You're too old-fashioned to think that way. That's a complete double standard. Don't be so easy. What's so easy about it? I'm working so hard. All you do is work. You have no idea how hard it is. I'm working too. If you take your job seriously, you wouldn't forget things. How sloppy. You're half-assed and sloppy, you know that? Who's half-assed? My husband, Thomas, I'm afraid. He doesn't even make as much as a celebrity. He's not even close to me, and he acts like he's a king. I make more than you. Yes, $200, LOL. Is that the only way you can protect your identity? Don't talk nonsense. I'm seriously going to divorce you if you keep being bossy. You think I'll obey you if you say so? You don't have any guts. So do you. If you have time to chat like this, go home and pick up what you forgot. I'm busy. Why should I go back home? Because you left them at home? You bring them. Think about it. Your office is closer to home. I'm busy too. Going back home, go to your office, and then back to my own office? Too irrational. Are you going to give me money for a cab? There's no way I can be that wasteful. You're now being stingy. Then I can't. I have work too. You are stingy. You're more stingy with your love than I am with the money, aren't you? This was your chance to be a good wife. That's enough. If the meeting doesn't go well, it's your fault. You won't support your husband. Poor me. How can you say that? No, it's clearly your fault. We'll talk about this when I get back. Be prepared. If you do anything mean, I'll call my dad and brother. That's not fair. That's my word. You tried to use me for your own reasons. Why do you have to be mad at me? I don't give a shit about you anymore. Blah, blah. Do what you want. Good luck at the meeting. Thomas, what's for dinner tonight? Will you cook? Oh, and do the laundry too. Huh? What's wrong with you? Why should I, who earn more money than you, do the housework? It's your job. Sorry, I got promoted. What? That means you earn more? How much? Ding dong! $500 more than you do, but it'll be more if you include overtime. You're kidding. I can't believe you got promoted. How did you cheat? Idiot! I didn't cheat. You know it's my real ability. Unlike you, I've been working hard every day. Well, I make more money than you do, so you'll do all the housework from now on, right? What are you talking about? It's just $500. Oh, who was complaining the other day about the $200 difference in salary? A man do the housework? I'm busy at work too. Don't make me say it again. I'm busy too. I work the same hours as you do. And yet, I make more money than you do. So, according to what you've been saying, you should be the one doing the housework, right? That can't be. How can your salary go up that suddenly? I've been working and studying for my qualification. While you were being lazy at home, I was studying hard. You kept it a secret? I didn't even know. I'm sure you didn't notice. You were just giving me orders, drinking alcohol, and watching TV. You didn't even look at me, did you? You didn't care what I did. You didn't care about the housekeeper who cooked your meals, cleaned your house, and did your laundry. That's misunderstanding. I didn't say anything like that. That's what you mean. So from now on, we're reversing positions. Doing the housework is not my job. I can't cook. Are you going to eat burnt meat? I'm not going to eat that. Why don't you take a cooking class? I can't. I'm too busy at work. I don't have time for that. You and we work the same hours. I was able to do it, so there's no way you can't. I said I can't do it. Then we're getting divorced. What? I've been thinking about it for a while. You mentioned it the other day too, right? I'm good with it too, so let's get divorced. No, I didn't really mean it. You were not really thinking about getting divorced, but the word divorce came up. See, I told you, you used the word divorce to get me to listen to you. How awful. That was because you wouldn't listen to me, so I had no choice. That means you wanted me to obey you, right? How is that even possible for a couple? You could have just been nice and listened to me. Anyway, I'm not getting divorced. Okay then, I'll have a lawyer. I still have your messages saying you will divorce me. That's not fair. You should really think about who is not fair. You just act like a big jerk and don't even do the housework, and all you do is make morally harassing comments. Aren't you the one who's not fair? So you want me to help out a little with the housework? I'm sorry, what? Did you say you'll help? Who do you think chores are for? It's for our lives, right? Help is wrong. We're supposed to share completely. But housework is a woman's job. How persistent. Are you going to pay me for doing the housework? Why should I do that? Where in the world are there housewives like that? Every housewife in the world does housework for her family, even if she doesn't get paid for it. Even though they work full-time or part-time or complete housewife, but the husband supports the wife. That's why I'm working and earning money. I told you I make more money than you. I'm putting in a little more money for living expenses. You're so picky. Don't you get it yet? We both work. You say you put more money into our living expenses, but after all, if we go out to eat, I pay for it. So it doesn't mean that you're paying more. We pay for each other's living expenses for the sake of our own lives, not for yourself. So what? So that means I get no support from you. This is just an exploitation of love, right? You push me to do everything. I wanted your feelings, not money. I wanted a support with your thoughts. I've totally lost feelings for you in the last few months, and I'm tired of doing all the housework. Don't just give up. I don't even want to talk to you anymore. You need to talk to a lawyer about the divorce. And please, talk about the division of property and so on. I'm going to stay at my sister's for the time being with my necessary things. Wait a minute! Don't decide on your own. My opinion is, that's enough. Me. It's always about you. I want to get divorced. That's all. If you want to talk about you, go and talk to a lawyer. Well, if he would listen to you. Wait a minute, Melody. It's all because of my colleague. I was measuring your love. Sorry. Now you're blaming others. Not your fault. Last time, it was my fault because I didn't deliver something you forgot, right? It's always someone else's fault. I don't want to spend my life with someone like that. I'm sorry I blamed you. That's not what I meant. Hey, I was in such a hurry that I lost my mind. I beg you, please reconsider. I'm sorry. I don't understand. You're just saying sorry to protect your poor self. Ew. I just want to get divorced and feel refreshed. Goodbye. Wait, Melody. Don't be so stubborn. If we get divorced, I'll be all alone. I won't be able to eat your food. Without you, I don't know where everything is. Oh, I'll help you. No, I'll do the housework. I got an idea. At least stay with me and teach me until I can live on my own, okay? Show me how, please. Hey, Melody, say something. Thomas contacted me several times after that, but I did not reply to any of his messages. And after a month with a lawyer in between, the divorce was finalized. The divorce did not go smoothly. And he was as whiny as a child. At the end, our parents had to convince him. Now that we are divorced, I'm able to get more salary and I'm working positively to improve myself more. Has my standard of living gone down? No, not at all. On the contrary, it is much more relaxed. I realized this after the divorce, but he said he was paying more for living expenses than I was. But in reality, I think I was bearing more of the burden. Well, we were able to adjust it by dividing the property, so I have no complaints. Unlike me, who has become physically and mentally healthy, Thomas is unable to do housework. And I heard that he returned to his parents' home because he had a trouble with his work and his salary had dropped.
I'm in trouble. Hey, there's a guy at my house right now, a friend of yours. Oh, that's Jeffrey, he's my friend. He just called me and we're going to have a drink after a long time. I'm still working and won't be home for another 2 hours and Jeffrey's already on his way. I told him to go home first. Huh? If that's the case, you should have called me first. I can't let someone I don't know come to my house. Anyway, I told him to come back when you get back, so he went home. What the hell is that? That's so rude. I've texted you, telling you that my friend is coming before Jeffrey got to her house. I didn't receive that one. You should check it again. I'm sure that I sent it. I checked it already, but I really haven't received your message. You must be mistaken. You should double check. Gosh. Seems that there was a transmission error when I sent that. See? You didn't send it. But when Jeffrey told you that he's a friend of mine, it's your job as my wife to shut up and entertain him. That's not very nice. You sent him home without even offering him a cup of tea. You're useless. I don't even know him. What if he's a criminal who pretended to be your friend? What if he does something nasty to me? How could anyone do that? I don't think Jeffrey would harm you, Rose. You are too self-conscious. Are you telling me that I'm worse than you, who forgot to let me know that your friend was coming? Think about it. Why didn't you just ask him to show you the conversation on his phone? That way you would have known we were friends, right? See? That's easy. I thought so too. I told him that too, but he said that he forgot his phone and wouldn't let me see it. If there was no way to check whether he was your friend or not, there was nothing I could do. Even after that, my husband kept complaining to me for a while. His friend also treated me as if I were a devil's wife. Jeffrey forgot that my husband made a mistake by not texting me before he came to our house. Both of them blamed me, as if I was the only one at fault. No matter how much I was blamed, I could not trust my husband's friend. I just could not trust him in any way. No matter if my husband has given his permission, I don't think it's a good idea to visit a newlyweds when the wife is all alone in the house. Also, what everyone shouldn't forget is, my husband said that Jeffrey is already on his way. Then why didn't Jeffrey have his cell phone with him? I wonder how he communicated with my husband. I felt some kind of unexplainable fear. That's why I decided to go back to my parents' house. Then, I received a message from my husband, who was in a panic when he came home from work. Where are you now? What the hell do you think you're doing leaving me like this? You have no reason to be upset. I was the one who texted you to let you know that my friend was coming, so why are you the one who's still mad at me all this time? Are you listening to me? I told you the other day I didn't get a message. You said there was a transmission error. Don't forget it just for your own convenience. That's why I called you, didn't I? I was trying to make sure that you're okay. You called me? I didn't get that. There you go. You're so full of it. I didn't hear it. I didn't get it. You just forget about it, didn't you? Then why were you trying to text me? You couldn't call me, so you decided to text me, didn't you? I did what I was supposed to do, Rose. You keep telling me about that and you never listen to me. I thought that when we got married, you'd think a little more about me. I was wrong. I've had enough. You just keep one-sidedly bad-mouthing me for selfish reasons. But you can't prove I didn't contact you, can you? Huh? There's no record of text or missed call from you, Kenny. Think about it. How can someone that can be easily erased like that be proof? You're too self-aware. Nobody's after you. That's not what this is about. Yeah, okay. Seems like you're not going to apologize to me. Why should I apologize? You're the one who's sorry, right? I didn't do anything wrong. Then fine, I won't even talk to you. I'm thinking about a divorce. That's what I'm gonna do. Hey, you think you can talk to me so selfishly like that? What the hell do you want? What's your purpose? I beg your pardon? I don't trust you anymore. That's why I said I want a divorce. I don't understand why you're blaming me when I didn't do anything wrong. That's why I told you that my friend, Jeffrey, was going to visit our house. You see, this just keeps going back and forth, so I don't want to talk about it anymore. Even if you did text me, why would you call your friend when you're not home? Because Jeffrey said that he didn't have a place to wait. A place to wait, huh? What a lame excuse. There are plenty of places to wait, such as restaurants and so on. Isn't that crazy? Coming all the way to our house when I was the only one there. Don't say bad things about my friend. Okay, let's say I let your friend come inside. What do you want me and your friend to do? You can just prepare dinner or something, like what everyone does when they have a guest coming to the house. Just serve tea and snacks to him. Let him watch TV and make him feel like home. You want me to cook dinner for a stranger? Yeah, what's wrong with that? It's not that hard, is it? That's what a wife is supposed to do. Likewise, if my friend came over, would you serve her dinner? I would if she's your friend. I'll say serve her tea too. Then what if that friend of mine is actually a criminal who just lied to you? You don't have to worry about that. You've never had a friend visiting you in the first place. Anyway, do you really have a friend? That means when the person says that she's your friend, I'll know right away that she's trying to deceive me. Kenny, do you realize that you're contradicting yourself? Huh? I'm just stating about the common sense. You're just being too logical and difficult. Also, you're trying so hard to justify yourself. No, I think I'm just talking plain and simple. That's your common sense. I'm different from you and I'm not that complicated. Then divorce me because I can't be with someone who doesn't value my common sense. Huh? Why are you talking like that? That's so extreme. If that's the way you're talking right now, then yes. But divorce over something like this is overreacting, right? You should think twice. I thought so too. We'd get into trouble over something as trivial as this, you know? I can't continue our marriage to someone I can't have a proper conversation with. I'll report this to your parents too. You think you can do such a selfish thing? I'll forgive you now, so don't make any more trouble and come back. Forgive me? I'm not going back to our house. You have until tomorrow to decide whether you're going to apologize or divorce me. If you don't apologize, let's have a divorce. That's right. I just remembered. Jeffrey was at our wedding. What? What are you talking about out of the blue? We knew each other. He was at our wedding, so he knew you too. That's why he wasn't a stranger. What do you think you're talking about, Kenny? Do you know how many friends you invited to our wedding? There were a lot of people and most of them were your colleagues. How could I remember the face of someone I met only once at the wedding? Don't be so heartless. Jeffrey was there to celebrate our marriage. Do you remember the faces of even one of my friends? Would you recognize them if you saw them on the street? What's wrong? Did you just ignore me because you don't remember any of my friends? Are you just going to forget every single thing that you think is inconvenient for you? Jeffrey is really my friend. Even if I did remember him, it doesn't mean that Jeffrey is my friend, okay? We have never talked to each other. I don't want to spend a few hours alone with a stranger. I don't care even if you ask me to do it for your sake. He's a friend of mine. Why can't you just be nice to him for my sake? If you can't even do that, that's very selfish of you. It's okay that this time it was a friend, but what if the person was my boss? That could affect my promotion. Can you take responsibility if I don't get promoted for the rest of my life because of you? Isn't that the worst thing you could do as a wife? Okay, let's say that the person was a criminal. If I got killed because I invited him in, can you take the responsibility for that? Kenny didn't reply to me. Well, I guess he can't answer that because he has never thought about that possibility. Seems like the divorce is not moving forward. Maybe I should ask for a lawyer. The next day, I looked at my cell phone during my part-time job lunch break. I got a long message from Kenny. I didn't even want to read it. Although the content was in the form of an apology, the message was full of excuses and condescending. No matter how hard I tried, I could not forgive him. One thing that bothered me was that his friend Jeffrey said he wanted to apologize to me. I was thinking about why Jeffrey wants to go through the trouble of meeting me. I felt that something was not right. I wanted to set up a meeting with an attorney to discuss the divorce matter. I contacted my husband but did not receive a response. Then, on the weekend, my husband suddenly came to my parents' house with Jeffrey. When they came, my younger brother and his wife Megan were there. My parents were out, so the 5 of us, my husband, Jeffrey, my younger brother, and his wife, decided to have a discussion. There was no apology from my husband and Jeffrey. The discussion remained at a standstill. It didn't make any sense. I wondered what they came here for. In the end, I decided to hire an attorney. I asked my husband and Jeffrey to leave that day. Later that day, I was told an unbelievable fact by a certain person. What are you waiting for? All you have to do is get a divorce. You're the one who made things so complicated. What's wrong with you all of a sudden? This is between me and Kenny. It's none of your business, Megan. Of course, it's also my business. I want to marry Kenny as soon as possible. Seriously, what are you talking about? You are my brother's wife. I found out when I visited your house last time. I realized that I was married into this family to meet Kenny. I felt like it was my destiny to be together with him. You're also insensitive, aren't you? Kenny is very fond of me, so he's mine already. He said he'd remarry me as soon as he divorces you. Just go ahead and tell Kenny is not at fault. Well, he doesn't love you anyway. Then you can get a divorce with a clear mind, right? Kenny may feel refreshed, but I don't. If he doesn't love me, then why is he arguing about the divorce? He can just do it straight away if he wants to. Kenny is a smart guy. If he admits that he's at fault, you have to pay alimony, right? He said he doesn't want that to happen. That's not smart. That's just being petty. So since he doesn't want to pay for alimony, he's just going to keep on complaining. I'm appalled. What about Jeffrey then? It's just not right that he keeps popping up multiple times. He has nothing to do with this, so why is he acting like he's a part of this matter? I'll tell you what I think. Jeffrey loves you. Huh? He fell in love with you when he saw you at the wedding, but he gave up on you because you're his friend's wife. But when he and Kenny were having a drink together, Kenny told him that he wanted to divorce you. When he heard that, Jeffrey's love for you had got stronger than before. I'm happy for you. So you and my husband took advantage of that. Well, that's what it comes down to, but it doesn't matter, does it? The truth is that the day Jeffrey went to your house, I got proof of the affair and tried to use it for the divorce. But Jeffrey chickened out at the last minute. Since you turned him away, the whole plan got screwed up. You're just playing hard to get. Do you even know what you're talking about? You're saying that you're trying to take advantage of your own friend. That's very inhuman. It's okay because nothing happened, right? It would have been fun if something had happened. That's not the point. Do you even care about other people's life? If that had happened, Jeffrey would have been arrested by the police. Kenny told Jeffrey not to worry because he would pay for the settlement. Jeffrey said he had no intention of doing any harm to you. He didn't even know he was being used, and he was so eager to go and see you. Poor Jeffrey. He thought that he could be together with you. He's just too sweet, which really makes me want to laugh out loud. You're such a jerk. You can say what you want. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. At first, I was going to charge you with adultery, but that's too much trouble. Just divorce Kenny as soon as possible. I don't want to wait any longer. You don't have to pay me any more money, so just get out of my life. When Megan contacted me, a chill ran down my spine. I felt as if I were frozen by her curse. It was all planned. I have no trust in my husband anymore. He is more of a stranger to me now. I'm afraid to stay in the marriage any longer, and I don't want him to come up with another nasty plan. I decided to consult an attorney immediately. I was confused with a mix of anger and disappointment. Once I realized that it was a setup, I completely switched myself to an anger mode. I swear that I will not be defeated. Let the war begin from here on. What do you think you're doing, Rose? It's so obvious, isn't it? What you tried to do to me. I'll never forgive you. You have to take responsibility as an adult. I didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't do anything directly to me. You knew about the plan, so it's the same thing. This whole thing has hurt me a lot. I've been scared. That's why I'll make you pay for the alimony. But your brother is going to ask for alimony too because he's divorcing me. I can't pay that much. Don't you dare say that to me. You're still married and you're responsible for hurting my brother's feelings. I also gave him the screenshot of the messages I had with you. You'd better admit it soon, Megan. You don't like waiting, do you? You're the worst thing ever. That's why you're dumped by Kenny. I know I'm not stupid, so maybe I was too smart for Kenny. But to be honest, I'm grateful to you for giving me the opportunity to divorce my husband like that. Thank you, Megan. You and Kenny are a perfect match. I know it's going to be hard to pay for the alimony from now on, but you and Kenny are capable to do that together. Wait a minute. I'm not finished talking with you. You must drop your lawsuit against me. The alimony from Kenny is enough. You don't have to take it from me too. Hey, don't ignore me. Say something, Rose. Please. That terrible plan was exposed. Kenny and I, Megan and my brother were able to divorce rather easily. My brother and I sued Kenny, Megan, and Jeffrey for alimony. The three of them kept blaming each other. They showed no signs of remorse for what they had done. They are really shabby people. The attorney thought they were malicious and demanded a substantial amount of money for compensation. If they did not comply, they would go to court and content-certified letter will be sent to each company they are working for. With this, Kenny and Jeffrey gave up easily and paid the fee. Megan, who was a housewife, had no way to pay the fee, so she was complaining, but her parents shut her up. Kenny was blamed so badly by my parents, his younger brother, and his own parents, and when he came to my parents' house to write the divorce papers, I was surprised to see that he was like a zombie. But both my parents and my brother say they have no intention of forgiving Kenny. Of course, neither do I. It seems that Megan told Kenny to marry her, but Kenny's parents were against that. It seems that Kenny, who's fed up with all the lecturing from his parents, did not defend Megan and turned her away, saying that he would not marry her. I have returned to my parents' house and am regaining a peaceful life. After what happened, my brother and I were depressed for a while. But both of us were glad that we realized the true nature of Kenny and Megan at an early stage before we had kids.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and leave us a comment down below. It means a lot to us. See you next time!